Hello, Kevin Hicks speaking, military historian.
Hello, it's the Queen here, Queen Elizabeth II. I would like to know a bit more about my ancestors.
Are you talking about the English Civil War between Charles I and Parliament?
Yes, I am. But to start off with, before we kind of discuss about it, please could you give me your opinion on Charles I and the war?
Well, in my opinion, I think the war was completely Charles's fault. He was the one that was wrong, and he kept on doing wrong. That's why tons of people died, and everything went wrong.
And could you please tell me just a few, kind of random facts that might kind of interest me?
Well, here are some of my favourite facts about the English Civil War. Charles I's wife, called Henrietta Maria, at first sight it was instant hate, but gradually, because they were married, they gradually grew to love each other, and eventually their love was so tight together that Charles I ordered Henrietta Maria to flee England during the Civil War, so she did not get harmed. And also, here's quite a funny fact, and this is probably one of the funniest facts about the English Civil War. When Mary, the Queen of Scots, was executed, the executioner dropped her head because she was wearing a wig. So when he shouted, "Behold, the head of a..." Oh, the head dropped.
But where was the main battle in the Civil War?
The main battle was fought on a place called Edge Hill.
Oh, that's very interesting. But what was the most surprising or amazing thing about the Civil War or Charles I?
Well, Charles I was completely preserved because until the Victorians, because he was wrapped around in lead, so no oxygen could get in. So that means nothing could take away his skin. So that was very amazing, because when the Victorians opened Charles I's coffin and cut through the lead, they would actually see what Charles I originally looked like, which would be pretty amazing considering it was quite a lot of time later.
Could you tell me an interesting fact about in the battle though, please?
Oh, well, there's one quite also funny fact as well, how the muskets, which were the old kind of version of guns, would sometimes fail. So when they shot, sometimes it would go bang and it would shoot, but sometimes it would just go ch. So that could also affect on your life and death. But imagine that, it'd be like, "I'm going to kill you now. Oh no, my musket doesn't work." So that would be very funny.
Do you know any let's say, horror stories about the Battle of Edge Hill?
Well, there is one very interesting one, which is actually true, and it hasn't happened long ago. So every year, on the day where the Battle of Edge Hill ended, people go and look for bodies in Edge Hill, as there's a legend that ghosts, let's say, haunt the place. Well, one year, a man stopped and he looked straight at the ground, and he walked forward and crouched down, and on that second, with no medical issues, he had a heart attack. And then he survived the heart attack, but after, when he was with his friends, they asked, what caused you the heart attack? And then he said, "I saw them. Did you see them too?" They said, and then he just fell silent. And that's a story that lots of people have heard, and this also is true, which is quite amazing.
Well, Thank you, Kevin. And this talk has been very interesting, and I'm amazed by your knowledge, which has been very surprising as well. And I found the talk very useful, even as every sentence you spoke, I learned something too. But if there was one more thing that I could ask, is who the civilians, let's say townsfolk, who do they like more? Not Charles because he was their king, but who did they really find as a nicer person?
Well, I could do a talk to you in Buckingham Palace with you and Prince Philip, and you could also hold a musket as well.
Oh, that would be very nice. And if Andrew carries on being naughty, I may shoot him with it. Wink, wink. Thank you. You've been very interesting, and I really loved this talk. Bye.
Bye.